We know about a number of things. We know, Mr. President, that American workers are the most competitive and the most productive in the world. We also know that far too many have been left behind because of wrong-headed trade deals. In the 20th century, we built the world's strongest economy in the history of the world by building the strongest middle class in the history of the world. We invested in health and safety of our workforce. We guaranteed workers the right to bargain for fair pay and reasonable hours. It was a fight to do so. More remains to be done. But we expanded opportunity for women and people of color, which society had never done, to realize their full potential in the labor force. Americans up and down the income spectrum reaped the awards. Workers got more productive, wages went up, profits were good, communities were strong. We led the world with a booming economy fueled by a skilled, empowered workforce. The talent and tenacity of American workers have not changed, but our leaders, including in this body, our leaders' commitment to those workers, frankly and unfortunately, has. Nowhere is that abandonment more clear than the free trade agreements we now approve with little oversight and minimal debate. These binding trade agreements affect all American workers, and they cut in small business and industry, and they cut to the heart of the values we hold dear or say we hold dear as a sovereign democracy. Too often they're pushed through this body so quickly that the corporations pushing them hope we won't notice that these agreements are loaded with corporate handouts that weaken our nation's ability to chart its own course. The last thing we need, Mr. President, is another NAFTA. We know what the North American Free Trade Agreement did to us 20 years ago when it passed. We know the damage it did to workers in Philadelphia. We know the damage it did to small companies in Oregon. We know what it did to communities in Rhode Island. And I know up close what it's done to far too many communities from Troy to Piqua to Toledo to Dayton in my state.